Sonic's got a problem with his balls. No, not those balls. Get your minds out of the gutter. This kind, the jumpy kind. There's one thing that's always been consistent with Sonic, it's that he jumps. If he's in a game, you can bet 99% of the time he'll do it, and he'll do it weird. Instead of lunging into the air like a normal person, Sonic curls into this ball. This jump ball. The jump ball allows Sonic to do so much, like jump, hurt enemies, and look cool. Sometimes, and that's about it. We're mostly going to be talking about the last bit because in recent years its cool factor has honestly gone down the drain for me. I don't particularly enjoy the visual direction it's gone in. I think there's a lot of flaws that really pull me out of the true jump ball experience, but to find out how these issues came to be, we'll have to start at the conception of this wonderful move. During the development of the first Sonic the Hedgehog game, SEGA had to push their minds to really make Sonic stand out among the sea of platformers at the time, and this, of course, included how Sonic jumped. It took some time, but eventually, the developers had a stroke of genius. Hey dude, watch me chuck this hedgehog. And thus, the jump ball was born. I mean, come on, it just makes sense. Hedgehogs curl into balls on the ground, of course they do it in the air too. Seriously though, this was a genius move by SEGA. Pretty much every other platformer at the time had one crucial thing in common: vulnerability in the air. With Sonic, spinning in a ball removed this problem. Mostly. In games like Mario, you had to precisely land your bounces on enemies in order to not take a hit. However, in Sonic, regardless of which direction you jump from, be it from the top, bottom, or sides, as long as there wasn't any obstacle to stop you, you could damage the enemy just fine. Plus, it just looks sick! I love that you can see the dude physically moving. It looks good, it looks clean, it looks believable. Like he's a hedgehog, duh he'd spin like that, tucked up like the little dude he is. I really like that you can even see the motion in the sprites themselves. They're cycling through different facing directions to replicate a spin, of course, but the artist added a bit of motion blur in each sprite to really make Sonic feel like he was spinning at high speed through the air. I love the detail. Additionally, the flash between the blue orb sprite and the spinning sprites really had an extra feel of motion. This style stayed very consistent during this era. The 4 mainline games didn't spice anything up about it too much, and the spin-offs didn't either. Even 3D Blast got it right, and 3D Blast didn't get anything right. I guess the only major addition to this ability's arsenal was the Insta-Shield in Sonic 3, but that's really it. But everything changed when Sonic moved into... Sonic Adventure changed a lot about the franchise. The gameplay went from 2D to 3D, the characters were given voices and more personality, and of course, the jump ball was translated perfectly. I don't think they could have ripped the jump from the 2D games and put it into the 3rd dimension any better than they did. Like, it's actually perfect. Just like the classics, he actually looks like he's curling into a ball, now both in his proper Sonic model and in the motion blur model. I really like that you can see some of his features in the latter now too. Like, yeah, that's Sonic spinning in there. See his shoes and everything? He's moving really fast. Honestly, I think that's a touch that puts it slightly above the classics for me. I think if this style were used in a modern game with modern graphics, it might look a bit jarring, but in lower poly it looks pretty damn good. In addition to the better look, Sonic's jump ball is also given a new ability, the homing attack. While jumping, Sonic can now perform a dash in the air, both to gain distance while platforming and to attack enemies with precision in 3D. Don't question the physics or logistics surrounding this move, it's fucking cool, okay? Sonic Adventure 2 is where things begin to slip up a bit. The spin just feels so slow, like they did not capture Sonic's sense of speed with this jump. There's not even a motion blur model or anything to attempt the illusion of spinning fast. This is also the first game to introduce an aura to the jump ball, and let me tell you, this one does not have hype moments. The aura can look good, I'll touch up on that in a bit, but here it just looks kinda wonky. I will say though, I really like the fluidity between jumping and curling, as well as curling and landing. You can see Sonic physically curl and uncurl mid-jump and it honestly looks pretty good. I wish they did this a bit more in future games. Speaking of future games, Sonic Heroes! The jump ball in this game actually looks... I don't know, I still haven't fucking played the game, and I don't care because it's mid! Sonic 06's jump ball is pretty similar to Adventure 2's. It moves quite a bit faster than Sonic Adventure 2's while keeping some of the same fluidity, so for that I'd say it's an improvement. Honestly, going without a motion blur model or an aura, this is probably pretty much the best jump ball can get. It just looks good. The homing attack does something weird though. It's got this weird, unexplainable whitish aura. I really don't know what this is supposed to represent. Maybe Sonic's raw power or some shit? I really don't know. I'm just gonna throw this one in here too. Black Knights is fucking awesome. Like, bro is spinning with a sword. Is this not the coolest shit you've ever seen? The Adventure era was a very experimental time for the Jumpball. They nailed the transition from 2D to 3D on their first try, but proceeded to downgrade and test the waters with it a significant amount going forward. However, I think the foundation was laid for what could be one of the greatest jump balls yet, as pretty much everything introduced in this era would culminate into Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Generations pretty much had the same jump ball, and boy was it clean. The biggest thing that does it for me here is the aura. Unlike Sonic Adventure 2, this one has hype moments. It doesn't just sit there while Sonic jumps. It adds to his spin and makes it look like he's actually moving with some force and power. Underneath, you can also see Sonic's model physically moving too, adding a nice extra layer of depth. I think these two elements separately would look alright on their own, but together they work super well. Once again, there's some fluidity to it. You can see Sonic ascend into the air prior to fully spinning. It's a nice touch. Something I really just now noticed is that the ball sort of matches the boost visually too. Maybe this is just a stretch, but stylistically they look fairly similar to me. In between these two games, we also had Sonic Colors. Colors was made for the Wii, weaker hardware than what Unleashed and Generations launched on, and therefore couldn't have as detailed assets. That being said, I don't think the jump ball here is bad per se, just worse than the other two boost jump balls. You can't physically see Sonic curling up and spinning around in this one, he's just an orb with aura here. The aura actually looks pretty good, arguably just as good as the other two games, but the lack of a physical spin really brings it down for me. I do really like the hop animation he does right before spinning though, even if it is less fluid than the other games. Even with lesser hardware, they were able to make a somewhat decent looking jump ball. So surely they'll learn from everything they've done in this era and only improve from here on out. What the fuck? Sonic Lost World. Quite the weird game. Some people like it, some people hate it, and some people think it's just alright. It introduced a brand new, divisive gameplay style right at the peak of the boost era for God knows whatever reason. And they severely fucked up the jump ball. Like, what the actual fuck am I looking at? How do you mess up this badly? Gone is the aura and hype moments. All we have left is pondering the orb. There's really nothing to this jump ball. Like, at all. I guess there are some lines on the ball that kinda indicate it's spinning, but that's the bare minimum you could possibly do. On its own, this is without a doubt the worst jump ball in the entire series. However, considering the art style of the game, I can sorta give it a pass. Sonic Lost World, much like its fans, is very simple. And this of course includes its art style. Everything has this cartoony, geometrical look. If the jump ball from Unleashed were used here, it would admittedly look very off-putting. I personally think the Sonic Colors jump ball would have been a great fit for this game, but I can kinda see why they went with this. The same thing can sorta be said for Sonic Forces. I do not like the Forces jump ball. It takes everything that made the jump ball a jump ball and throws it the fuck away. Now it's an orb of energy or something with spikes on it. I don't know, man, it's just ugly. But like Sonic Lost World, I can kinda excuse it because of this game's more cartoony art style. Now in Sonic Frontiers, I can absolutely not do that. What were they thinking using the Forces jump ball in one of the most realistic settings in any Sonic game? It does not fit in the slightest. It looks so incredibly out of place, it just makes me need to... And why does it glow? The jump ball emits light. Is Sonic glowing? Does he do that now? Sonic the bioluminescent hedgehog? No! Even though the model is ever so slightly better than the Lost World jump ball, even if only because it has some aura, this is without a doubt in my mind the worst the jump ball has ever fit into any Sonic game. How the mighty have fallen. Shadow Generations uses the same jump ball with different colors, and I guess it's better. It definitely fits the art style better for the most part, but then again, it still suffers from the same issue as Forces with it just being dog shit. SEGA, if you're watching this video, please, I beg you, take us back to the golden days, please. If you really want to catch up to that Mario level of quality like you say you do, You have to do something about improving the jump ball. All great platformers have their iconic jump. Mario with his fists in the air, Crash doing his weird tornado thing. Sonic's jump ball, a core feature of the character, has to match the same level of detail, and I'm just afraid the bare minimum won't cut it. Just like how you shouldn't settle for the bare minimum in watching this video. Go above and beyond and subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and watch more of my videos. Just like this one where I talk about Sonic's balls. I totally didn't write this whole thing just because I thought of that one joke at the beginning. No. Subscribe to the Dreamcast.